Hey Liz, hey, it's Todd here. Just going to send you this video because we've had a bunch of updates and a lot of it you aren't doing, and there's some changes that you wouldn't know about. So I'm going to take this video and show you what we've done and what I want you to do kind of going forward so you can replay this video as much as you want. So here's the basis of it. There's two different things. One is you see this page here, which is our normal booking roster. One of the things you've noticed, I'm sure, is over here on the booking side where the names are right. Now you're seeing the flpeacockbass.com, iOutdoors, which pretty much was all of them before. And then we scroll down here and you can see Check Front, and then there's FL, there's Lake Erie. If I go to the next page, there's probably Bass Online. There's all these others. Yeah. So yeah, here's a couple of Bass Onlines, Lake Okeechobee Bassfishing.com. And I'm going to show you how those get assigned. So when you're doing a booking, and let's just pull up a Lake Tahoe, I'm just generically pulling up anything, and you go to do the booking. You come here, you choose whatever it is, Fishing Booker, Group, or right through our website, and you go down and you finish all the booking. The last step is this new feature, branding, at the bottom. And what we're doing is, you see this one right here, Lake Tahoe has 4 or 5 sites that those products are assigned to. What I want you to do is, if it's a Fishing Booker is assigned to the Lake Tahoe guides. It's not Bass Online, it's not iOutdoors. So if it's a Fishing Booker, then you would draw, you would choose Fishing Booker up here, then come down and hit this and do Lake Tahoe guides. If you know it's come through Bass Online because it's an email or something that you've talked to the customer on the phone, and they say, "Hey, I'm on your Bass Fishing Guide Orlando website and I'm wanting to book a trip," do that. Here's what it does for us, Liz. One is we get tracking, as you can see here. But two, more importantly, it brands everything in that brand when it goes out to them. So the email is the email from that website. So it no longer goes strictly through iOutdoor email. It will go through the Bass Fishing Guide or the Lake Tahoe guides, but it also have a logo. And you've probably seen that in the inbox now. Let me see. So like this one here, see how it has the logo for the Lake Erie site. So it would say Bass Online up there. It would have the iOutdoor if it was that one. And so all the stuff that it does, whether it's even down to the review at the end, the review is going to be associated to the site that is the URL, right? So that's how it works. It's all automated. The only thing that starts the whole process is you, when you do the booking, and you choose this down here. Now I know sometimes, and if you don't know who it is, you just leave it on iOutdoors and just let it roll. But if you do, a lot of times we know it from the email or from talking to the customer. So please choose the one so we can kind of keep that associated with it. The customer doesn't see 4 or 5 different brands. And we've been doing this for a while and it seems to be working. And I've talked to several customers that like it. So that's the first thing. Just when you go through your booking, choose the brand at the end if you know it. If not, leave it defaulted to iOutdoors. Okay, so the second thing is, I've got a new procedure for Fishing Booker, and why I sent out the list of all the new updated passwords and users names. Because of this new branding feature, I want to go through Fishing Booker with you. So give me just a second. I'm going to do that. Hold on. Okay, so here's a Fishing Booker. This happens to be the Lake Tahoe account, but it doesn't matter. All the accounts are set up the same way. What I want you to do on every single Fishing Booker, whether you get all the appropriate information over here or not, I want you to log in, every one of them. Okay, this is how we're going to know each person has addressed the customer. What kind of was happening before is I was going in behind you guys and I didn't know whether you did it or not. I'd have to search the customer in our database, look to see if it's done. Now when I log in, I see that we've responded right here to the customer that booked right here, and I know that account's been handled. So I made it easy that there's these auto response that are super easy for you to do. So when you come in here, most of the time you're going to need some of this information over here anyways, and the phone number. By the way, I never use the booking button at the top here in the menu. I always go to the inbox, hit all. I don't even go to the booking section. I'll let this load, and then you'll see here when you come here, basically everything's on this side. It makes it really easy. But anyways, to do this response, I've made it really easy on all this stuff. There's a couple things that pretty much are the only two things that people ask for. One is we need to know that they booked and we put it in our system. You need to respond to them with a thank you or what Purdue, because we have people, guides that don't respond to the customer right away, and then the customer doesn't know whether we finished it or not. They basically booked in Fishing Booker and they haven't heard from anybody, and maybe the trip's not for 2 more weeks. So what I want you to do is put a response in there as soon as after you've put it in Captain Book. And the way you do that is just hit the use quick replies, and you'll see I have an intro, which means a booking, right? So when you click on that, it automatically puts the information down here. Now, it is basically identical to what you have up there, but if there was something you needed to add in here, you could just type in and edit, right? Like including this or including that. And then you just hit the blue arrow here and immediately post it. So the customer's getting a response. The response consistent between you, me, April, Lori, everybody. And it's pretty much the same response on all the Fishing Book accounts. I have this set up already. The other is the question about fishing license, and with all the different accounts, it's hard to keep up with those. So I've added that in here. And if you see fishing license, you click on it. It's put all the information in there. Let's take that out. You'll see. So it says fishing license, boom, boom, boom. This one I have the number broken down. Some of them have the number just spelled out, but it basically tells the information. Now, obviously, some of these we need to change, and you'll see that I'm changing them now. They'll be changed to Pennsylvania or whichever state that they're doing, so that way we can do. This one is obviously Orlando, so it's okay. But they've been changed, and if not, we can do that. So the user quick ratio for doing the quick replies is already built in here. It makes it really simple. In most cases, these fishing bookers, other than let me think about this. Bill Gowdy, Mark Rose will sometimes reply to the Erie one, not always, but Bill Gowdy's pretty on top of his. Paulie D will sometimes respond on his, but not always. I probably respond more than he does. Brett doesn't respond to any. A ton of them, right? Whether it's a New Smyrna, whether it's a Toho, whether it's the California or the Tim in Lake Gunnersville, and you can go on and on. It's basically up to us to respond. Now, if you get a question that's in here that customer sent to you, let's say this, and you don't know how to respond, then just text through our text line, text the guide, get the correct response to the question, because they can't log in here. Like a Tim McNear, he doesn't have access to this. He basically just gets, and even Jared out in California. So it's up to us to keep this up. So you log in, you'd ask that question to Jared or Tim, and then they would text you back on our Ring Central line, and then you just paste the result in here for the answer. So we want to keep these up. I want you to be very, very careful of what you respond with and what you don't do here, because they are monitoring everything. They are monitoring everything we're doing, what we're saying. We're not supposed to be working at having so many pages and stuff like that. So I want to make sure that we kind of police it. It's become very valuable to us. Obviously, you see how many fishing bookers are coming through. So let's be careful about how we respond. For an example, like look at this one this morning. I gave Lori information. She said she emailed you. This person had booked a pontoon trip, but then wanted another one for Lake Butler, but he also sent it in through Bass Online. It was there. You responded here with this now. So they're going to question this. I bet you I get an email from Fishing Booker going, hey, did they ever book that trip? Because they're always worried about people scamming them and cutting trips on the side. So this should have never been posted. We should just stick with this. If we have a number to call the person, we call the person, and we kind of go from there, okay? all I'm saying is we have to be more careful and courteous. And then I think we all do it simultaneously the same way. And you will be able to come behind April. I'll be able to come behind you. Laura will be come behind me. And we're all doing it the same way and see the same thing. So this is the auto response on here. And then the only other thing on when let's get back to the booking. So is obviously this would be, Fishing Booker or Captain Experience or whatever. The other thing is the notes. Because you haven't logged in the past, I see a lot of these being posted without notes, and I don't want that. I have a lot of this information that they put on Fishing Booker. So let's go back here, like this right here. 1 hour, all fives. I understand the fees. Oh, that would be not relevant, but let's something like in here. So you take some of this. You don't need to write this whole thing, but you could decipher some of it and make a good response and then paste that in here. So the captain, obviously, we always have to put the Fishing Booker number, right? Which I think you do quite often. But then we should put the response, whatever that is, right? The response there. So the guide has an idea of what's been through. Like I just did one, that same pontoon guy I just showed you last night. He sent in and changed the one pontoon boat he already has booked, 4 to 5 people. I went in and then I went into the notes and I said on 9/7, customer requested upgrade. So I want good notes in there so we all can follow along, right? So, and by logging the Fishing Booker, which I know is a pain in the butt, but by doing it, we get all that information. There's no reason it shouldn't be in here. Okay, so you're doing that. You have the notes, and then the other thing is the Fishing Booker account. So make sure that, like the Lake Tahoe one, is this one, that it's the brand that we're using. So like Tim McNear, Jared, all those are under Bass Online, right? So we're going to choose Bass Online. Even Tyler in Arkansas, that would be Bass Online, right? But then you have, like, if you were doing Lake Erie, it's under Bass Fishing Lake Erie. You would see that when you pulled up an Erie product. So let's try to keep the count with it. And then the number one thing, most important out of all the junk I've told you, is on all Fishing Bookers, the very first email. So we put all the information in here. We made the totals come to whatever they're supposed to be. We hit the no charge. We do whatever. We pick the right account. We have to uncheck this notification. Okay. One of the things that's happened is, again, Fishing Booker is getting the response from there. And a lot of times we don't have so let me go show you, which I know you probably already know this. So on Fishing Booker accounts, a lot of them, like this one is the true number. But if I log into another account, like any of the West Coast guys, the Tim McNear, the Tyler, all the newer accounts, even now the new Miami one for Rick down there, Hernandez, you'll see when you hover over this, it'll say mast number. Basically what happens is Fishing Booker is, every time somebody calls that number that they put here, it's going to Fishing Booker, ringing, and then their computer controls and directs it to the customer's phone number. This isn't actually a customer phone number. So what's happened is that if we don't check this the very first time, even that we don't have an email address here, right? We don't have an email address for Fishing Bookers, but we put their phone number in here. It's trying to send a text message, and it sends that text message from Bass Online to Fishing Booker, and they go, "What the hell's this?" And we've had a couple guides get phone calls already, and they're going, "Oh, we don't want to. This shouldn't be coming from Bass Online. We don't want them." So the way to prevent it is we uncheck that. So on every Fishing Booker, we're going to leave this one checked for the team. The one for the customer is done. But then we go ahead and book the trip, and the system will still send out a review, and it'll still send out waivers. And the guides can always do that at the boat ramp too. If we get the additional information, we can do that, but it will automatically trigger. We just got to do that on the initial booking, uncheck the checkbox. Okay? that's about it for me on the update. If you have any questions, shoot me something. But I know you hadn't heard from me in a while, and we've constantly are working on new things. Also, if you notice, we've added on a whole new slate of New York locations. We have a fishing book, of course, for Rick Mitchell up in New York, but we're also adding on New York locations. So when you get some free time, I'm working on it right now, but let me pull it up here and let's see if it shows up here. Boom. Okay. You'll see we're adding on. We've added our Dunkirk already. We got Buffalo. We really don't have a guide in Buffalo yet, but Rochester, Syracuse, we've got a guy. Rick does Alexandra Bay and a couple others locations. So we're in the process of putting it up. Probably by the end of this coming week, all this stuff will be up. But if people call or something, you might just go to Bass Online and kind of read up on these locations as we do it. Also, we have Missouri, where we had some Missouri stuff before. We really didn't have anything booked, but now we have Table Rock, which is a popular lake. We're going to start seeing bookings. We're going to get a fishing booker for there. But this location that we have it set up and we have it bookable now, that same Tyler that does Arkansas, he's only 30 minutes from here. He's going to do this too now. So, and his schedule's all synced. So we're good to go. So it's just in case you get people from Missouri, it's in here. And then he's also going to do that. Now he also 30 minutes in the other direction is Oklahoma. We only got to make it simple. We only have one location, which is Grove, and these other ones are just kind of built out. But under Grove, there is one. We have one lake, which is called Grand Lake. This one here, Grand Lake, is under Tyler. Also, it'll be up any day now. But that's in Oklahoma, and he's also linked to that, and that'll be up. So, Oklahoma, Grand Lake. So the New York, Missouri, yeah, and that's it. And we seem to be got a guy in New Jersey. We're just trying to get him up, but we're going to work. We'll get New York completely built out yet, and the other ones, and then go from there. All right. If you have any questions, that's all the updates on my side for now. But otherwise, we should be good to go. Thank you. Talk to you later. Bye.